Hi y'all, Mr. Stumple here, and today we're going to talk about tensile testing. You're going to get a chance to do some online testing, and then if you have some materials at home, I'll show you how to do testing with materials you have at home. Let's jump right into it. What is tensile testing? Tensile testing is used to test the strength and the breaking point of materials. So they're tested in a very controlled environment, and you can see the picture of the machine right here. If you watch the videos, you'll see this machine in action, and they're tested in this controlled environment to test their breaking point, their elasticity point, and other properties of that material. So basically you stretch it until it breaks, and you determine some of the material properties based on this graph that gets produced. So if you go to YouTube, you can find all sorts of tensile testing videos. I've posted 2 of them up on Canvas that I'd like you to watch. They use the machine that I showed you the picture of there a moment ago, and they put a sample inside that machine of a different type of material and pull it with a force that exerts on both sides of it, and it pulls it apart, and then the graph is made. So while you're watching those videos, I want you to notice the graph. The graphs kind of look like this one right here, and they have a steep curve at the beginning, and then they hit a point where the sample is no longer able to stretch back to the shape that it was before, and that has a specific name, and then it goes into plastic deformation here, and that plastic deformation means that it's not going to go back to its original shape anymore until it finally gets all the way over here to its breaking point. And when it breaks, then you see the machine kind of snap, and it's broken. Obviously, it's not going to go back together at that point. So the slope of this line, the place where this point is, the length of this line, and the place where it breaks, all has to do with the material properties. So notice how those graphs are made as you're watching the video and when you're doing your online virtual testing. So let's go into the virtual testing. When you go into this virtual tester, it'll look like this. This is sort of the machine here, and then you have these this graph that gets created after you select a sample. Just follow this link or put this link into your browser. It's a pretty easy system to use. You just click a couple buttons, and you can watch the virtual tensile tester work. So then you'll see where this graph is, and when you're done with it, take a screenshot of your virtual test. That's part of what I'd like for you to turn in. The next thing is testing from home. You don't have to test from home if you don't happen to have candy, but I used Twizzlers, and then I used Sour Patch Kids, and then I used Starburst. You can use anything you want, really, but these are the candies that I had laying around. I got my daughter to help me out, and then she ate all the candy afterward. But if you watch my video, which I'm also posting up on YouTube, you can actually watch my candy test. And the idea behind when you're testing something at home is to try to pull it very gently at first, and then add a little bit more force and a little bit more force in a very controlled way, and try to pull both at the same time. Try to pull from both sides with the same force at the same time, and you'll be able to actually feel when your item goes into this slope, and whenever it gets to the point that it's not going to come back into its shape anymore, then you'll feel it takes a little bit less force to get it moving on, or maybe not less force, but the force isn't increasing anymore. And then when it gets to the breaking point, obviously it'll snap, and it's kind of fun to do. So go watch my video about how to do this experiment at home. If you don't have candy laying around, you can roll up a piece of paper and pull it apart. Pull apart a piece of paper. That's going to be a little bit more brittle. It's not going to have a very long part in this top part of the curve here. It's going to go up to this point, and then it's going to snap pretty quick. But if you find something that's a little more pliable, like some I don't know, something that's made out of rubber, or maybe some silly putty or something like that, you can pull it. Or some slime. You guys like to play with this slime. Try the slime and see where that gets you. Do something at home and take a picture or a video of yourself doing it at home. Post that up on Canvas, and that'll be another thing that I want you to turn in for that. So once again, the 2 things I want you to turn in: picture or screenshot of your virtual tensile test, and then a picture or video of you doing some sort of a tensile test at home. Have fun with this one, and good luck. And if you have questions, log on to my conference calls.